Welcome to Nerium University. My name is Tammy Smith. My husband Mark and I are Gold International Marketing Directors and Directors of Field Operations here with Nerium. We want to welcome you to this training tonight. It's a special training that we have created for you because we really want to help you launch into 2014 strong. And so we're going to help you with a series of steps to help you goal set and really design the dream lifestyle that you want. And what we really want to talk about is, the struggles that we went through and the accomplishments that we've had, and also what you can do for your future and how to make 2014 amazing. Here's just a clip as far as, where Mark and I were in our beginning days of joining the relationship marketing business. And, as you can see here, we weren't bringing a whole lot of money into the family. We were over $40,000 in credit card debt. We had our first child. We actually just gave birth to our first child. And it was really difficult to make those ends meet. And so we stumbled upon this industry really as a way out to really get ourselves up on our feet and create that dream lifestyle that we had envisioned for ourselves. And what this really says to me when I look at it is, being back in that position where we were not able to pay our bills, having creditors calling us, not being able to pay our rent, having our landlord actually come to our house and knock on our door telling us, hey, I need the rent immediately. You're already 10 days late. What are you going to do about it? We actually moved in one of our friends to help us offset those costs, but still, that was not our way out. We still had struggled even bringing somebody in, not being able to afford groceries, and we got rid of cable. We weren't able to afford our cable. We had to really get down to the bare necessities of life at this time in our life. And I remember going out with friends and not being able to order food when they were ordering food, and our excuse would be that we weren't hungry because we didn't know how else to get around that, and it was really difficult. As you can see, bringing in this kind of income doesn't equate to very much a month, and so it was definitely a struggle for us. Those bill collectors calling. We got to a point where it was just we knew that there's nowhere else for us to go but up. And so I can clearly remember we had broken furniture in our living room, a car that was broken into, which was kind of our saving grace to help us pay the rent for 1 month. Someone actually broke into our car the month before we needed to take money out of that to pay for our rent. And, we had negative friends and family surrounding us. So it wasn't like, it was happy-go-lucky from day one for us. There were lots of struggles, and it doesn't help the mind when people are telling you that you're involved with something silly, you're involved with a scam, and it definitely didn't make it easy. And so, it was much better nowadays, but there was definitely struggle to be had right before the successes came.
And I got to tell you what, you look at this W-2, and the reason we're starting with this is because, you need to kind of know that there are sacrifices going on. Now, not everybody, obviously, listening in here today is going through a financial struggle. Some of you are struggling financially. Some of you are struggling for time freedom. In other words, you make good money at your career, but you don't have the time freedom that you may want to spend with your family. Everybody has something going on in their lives that could easily get in the way of your journey and of your success. I mean, if you look at this W-2 here, I mean, we're talking, I think we took home about $16,000 that year, $1,400 a month. You bet we were stressed. Yes, it was definitely hard. Yes, we struggled, but we never gave up. We never lost faith. We really, really went for it. And we went for it in a way where we basically, we were willing to just go all out on a shoestring budget. We actually sold every single thing we owned, bought a motor coach that we could barely afford. We couldn't even really afford to be able to put gas in it, and decided we're going to just travel around the country. Myself, Tammy, our daughter Caitlin, our dog Skipper, we just went for it, no holds barred. And it absolutely 100%, it was not easy. We're not going to tell you it was easy, but it was 100% worth it.
For us, there was nothing. We got to that point in our life where we realized there was nothing for us to do but make it happen for ourselves. And, it didn't matter if we had support of our friends and family. We were going to do it and prove everybody wrong. And we just stayed focused on our goals and our own personal mission. And, we realized we had nowhere to go but up. So that was really what we had.
And here's the thing, failure is the simplest form of feedback. And we accepted that feedback and we did something about it. That's the difference. It's not that when you see successful people, before we became successful, at first we maybe, we kind of thought, Well, maybe they went to a better school, or maybe they had a leg up, or maybe they had money to start off with, or maybe they knew more people, or maybe we just had all these things we thought successful people had, and what we found out on our journey is they were no different than any of us. We're all the same. It's just what we decide to do with that. And so we took that feedback that failure dealt us, and we did something about it big. We burnt all of our bridges. And when you sell everything you own and you move into a motor coach, you pretty much have burnt all your bridges. We didn't look back one time. We got committed real fast, and we got way out of our comfort zone and really went for it. And then what that led us into was really a life full of success. And really, it didn't come as easy as it sounds. We really had to go through that journey. But as you can see here, this is just kind of a collage of just our life today. I mean, we really, it's kind of a fairy tale for Tammy and I, and it's not to brag or boast to you, it's just to share with you that, if you can have a W-2 that you're making $1,400 a month, and as Tammy shared, you have your landlord knocking on your door because you're behind on the rent. We had a car that was, we were trying to sell the car to be able to pay for more rent, and someone broke into it. We went through all those things, and to get to where we're at right now, we embrace the journey. Some people say that to have a testimony, you have to be willing to go through the test. And Tammy and I have definitely gone through that test. If you asked us, is it worth it? 110%, it was worth it. And some of the things that you see in these pictures, maybe a Ferrari's not something that you want. Hey, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's something that I wanted. But that's not what these pictures are about. These pictures are about what are the things that you want in your life? What are the things of purpose? What are the things of meaning? Going to the World Series, you can see myself and Eric Dean there, another leader in the company with our sons. That was an amazing experience. You can see the picture of our kids there on a surfboard. That was, those experiences of our house in Hawaii are things that we'll remember forever. You can see this picture of Tammy, laughing. I can just remember when we were at that house in Hawaii, and I can remember exactly when that picture was taken. I really believe that picture is the definition of happiness. We've been able to travel the world. You can see the picture of Tammy and I there. We went to the Prague, Czech Republic. It was amazing. We actually went and got a palace. And it was called the Alchemist Palace, and we took 20 of our friends on a trip. It was absolutely to die for. It's a place you definitely got to go to. And all in all, at the end of the day, the money's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's really purpose. What are you going to contribute? What are you going to leave behind? And one of those pictures is there of the globe. And that signifies Tammy and I's purpose and what drives us. And what drives us is to give back to the military. So at the end of the day, that's where all of our focus, that's our end game. That's where we want to be. That's our definite chief aim in life, is to make as much income as we possibly can and to fulfill really what we set out to do many years ago when we had no money. And that was, we're going to build a huge foundation and give back to the military. So that's our story. And really, tonight is not about our story. It's about your story and what you can do with your family.
Now, maybe you need financial freedom, maybe time freedom, maybe you have both. But maybe your idea is, hey, I want to make some money from my Nerium business to give back to my favorite charities. Whatever it is, figure it out. Set that as your goal. You can't wander through life aimless. You've got to create goals for yourself to drive you each and every day. So this training, again, is just for you. It's what you're going to accomplish in your own personal goals in 2014. Mark and I are confident that you can realize your dreams because it happened for us. We know it can happen for you. So what you need to do right now, please, we just ask that you come with an open mind, willing to believe in yourself and willing to really learn how to design that life of your dreams. So Mark is going to go through step by step on exactly what you need to do to have a powerful 2014.
And I tell you, I'm excited. Tammy and I have really been waiting for this call. We've been waiting for this moment in the new year. We've been waiting to be able to share with you some of the things that we've been able to do, but more so that we can prove to you that you can do some of these things as well. And so, as Tammy said, I'm going to take you through this step-by-step process this evening. And as she said, you have to have an open mind. You have to be willing to receive this. And the information I'm going to share with you is no secret. It's in many books. Many people have talked about it. You've probably gone through many trainings that have gone over in a similar format what I'm going to go over. But tonight or today, this needs to be different for you. You need to be different. You have to be really willing and ready and totally set on going to that next level in your life. So let's start off with really the steps of goal setting. Number one is to define your goal. Okay, what is that? what do you want to accomplish? What's the big thing? And so I think it's important to, one, have a definite chief aim, which is the big one in your life. What are you going to contribute to society? What are you going to leave behind? What's going to define you when you're gone? What are people going to say about your accomplishments when you leave this earth? That's the big goal, and that's deep. Maybe you don't know that right now. Maybe it's something you have to work on over time, and that's totally fine, but start writing it down. Tammy and I wrote these things down literally 14 years ago. We started writing these things down, and we both come from military families, so it was easy for us to have a focus on where we wanted to contribute. But that's not necessarily what you're going to do. You have your own why, your own goals, your own dreams, and so that definite chief aim is that big, huge accomplishment, the big one in your life. The second thing I want to ask you to do is set a 1-year goal. And that 1-year goal is, what do you want to accomplish in 2014? What's the big goal in that 1 year's time that you want to accomplish? And then what we're going to do is we're going to work that backwards, and we're going to set a 100-day goal at the end of the session tonight on our 100-day sprint into St. Louis. But it needs to be very detailed. All of these goals need to be very, very detailed. Step number 2 is to write down your goal. Okay, writing down your goal is probably one of the single most important steps, because most people don't take the time to actually write down their goal. They talk about their goal, they dream about their goal, the someday about my goal. Well, some days never come if you don't put it in writing. The act of writing it is a big thing. It causes you to use many senses. Think about what has to happen for you to write down a goal. You have to think about it. You have to dream about it. You have to think about it in a way where now you take that pen and you're writing it down. When you write it down, you're committing it to memory. You're seeing yourself write it. So it's an important step to write down these goals. Now, I would encourage you to use your achievement planner or get a journal of some fashion and start writing down a master goal list. One of the things that I did many years ago, and before recording this here today, it's kind of interesting. I went and found some of my old journals and I read through my master goal list. I went to a Jim Rohn seminar many years ago where Jim Rohn said, take out a piece of paper and write down a master goal list. And he asked us to write down 100 goals. And I thought that would be easy. After about 20, I didn't know what else to write, and I was just reading it. And it was kind of funny about some of the things I wrote down were off the charts. I mean, I would be afraid to even read some of the things on this call here today. But the interesting thing to me as well is I've accomplished a lot of things on that 100 goal list. And I haven't read that 100 goal list in quite a long time, so it was a very interesting process for me to go through to really take the time to look at that. So, which goals are the most important to you when you write these goals down? Prioritize those goals. What's the number 1 goal? What's the number 2 goal? What's the number 3 goal? And think about everything that the goal means to you. And sometimes people will say things like, I want to earn more money. That's not really a goal. That's not going to cut it. That's really not going to drive you. That's not going to serve you when you hit a bump in the road, when someone quits on you, when you feel like quitting. I want to make more money is not going to do it. It has to have purpose. It has to have meaning. So, define that goal. I want to have more money. Why? Maybe it's because I want to get out of debt and I don't like the feeling of being in credit card debt. That's a deeper meaning. I want to send my kids to a better school. I didn't go to good schools when I grew up, and I want my kids to go to the best schools. That has purpose and meaning. I want more money. Why? Because I want to retire my parents. My parents have worked so hard. They've given us everything that we want, and they're just continuing to work in their 70s. I want to retire them. It has purpose and meaning. And so don't just write down a basic goal. Write down a real goal and have purpose and have meaning behind that goal. So that the likelihood of it becoming true for you is so much more real when you write it down and you make it come true for you by writing it down and studying it and spending that time. Next thing is you have to put a time frame around your goal. You have to put a time frame. So you must be very specific about that time. I will accomplish X by X date. And hold yourself accountable to the time frame. And this is another thing in goal setting that people miss. They say, I want to buy, I want to buy a new home someday. Okay, well, like I said, some days never come. What is someday? I want to buy a new home by the end of 2014, or I will be living in a new home, November of 2014. It needs to be a really well-defined goal with a real time frame, so you have something to really shoot for. Now, once you've defined the goal, once you've written down the goal, and once you've kind of come to grips with when you want to achieve the goal, the next thing is the support of that goal. How do you really accomplish this goal? If it was that easy, how come everybody is not accomplishing all of their goals? And it's pretty much comes down to some of the things that Tammy and I have used over the years that have really served us. We still use these techniques today. We've taught these techniques to our children. We'll never stop using these techniques because they really just flat out work. And that's using visual aids. What's a visual aid? I encourage each and every one of you to make a dream board. Go get a little, piece of poster board down at Walmart or Target, or a piece of cardboard, and cut out the things that signify your goal. If your goal is, I don't want to work 100 hours a week the rest of my life. I want time with my kids. Cut out pictures of your kids at the park. Cut out pictures of you playing with your son, at baseball. Cut out pictures of attending, your daughter's ballet recital. Put that all over a dream board. Write some things across that dream board as I will have time freedom. I will continue to work my business to create that lifestyle and that time freedom for my family. That's a great dream board. Maybe you rent right now and you've always wanted to own a home. So maybe you cut out some of the pictures of the ideal home. Maybe you look at what's the neighborhood that you would want that home to be in. You keep those things, those visual aids in front of you every day. Here's another example. I use my screensaver on my computer. It's a great way. Make a picture collage of all the things you've wanted to accomplish. I send messages to myself on my screensaver. When my screensaver comes on, it says this is your year. Okay, don't give up. Expose 2 people a day. I write those things on my screensaver, and I chuckle when it comes on because it does really remind you. I really take goal setting to a whole new level in using visual aids. For Tammy and I, when we wanted our home in Hawaii, when we went on vacation there, I brought home jars of sand from the beach. I brought home shells. I did the same thing in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We have a property in the Turks, and it's same thing. I brought home a pirate map. Right now, as we're on this call, that pirate map is right in front of me here in my office. That jar of sand is in my office that I'm speaking to you from right now. The conch shells, these giant, beautiful conch shells that I brought back from the Turks and Caicos, they're all over my yard. They're all over our barbecue, our outdoor bar. And it's kind of funny because now they signify to never give up. Now they signify that dreams and goals can come true. But what they truly remind me of is visual aids are so important. They keep you going. They remind you of your goals. Let me give you another example. And it's easy to use some material examples, so forgive me for that. But let's just say that you wanted a new car. Go test drive the new car. Don't just say, I want a new car. Go test drive the new car. What color paint? What size tires? What are the options that you want on it? When are you going to take delivery of that new car? I'll have some fun with you. Go take a jar, a mason jar, down to the car dealership. Go test drive that new car. Go trap some of that new car smell in that jar. Close it up real tight. And next time you feel like quitting, the next time someone tells you that you're not going to be able to do something big here or near, and the next time you have a setback or an upset, crack open that mason jar and take a big, deep sniff of that new car smell that you trapped in that jar. That's how visual you need to be. That's how vivid your goals need to be. It's easy to use with the new car smell, but obviously, I would say for most of us on this call here today, our purpose and meaning of goal setting is much greater. So what does that look like for you? You can go into the open houses in neighborhoods that you want to move your children into. Maybe you don't live in a good zip code right now, okay? I grew up in a bad zip code, and Tammy and I had 3 break-ins in our marriage. Not a fun situation. We lived in some not so great neighborhoods, okay? And I know that break-ins can happen anywhere, but we lived in zip codes that were not good zip codes. And so one of our big goals, one of our breaking moments, our aha moments for us is we had a break-in while we were in the home. And our daughter was an infant, and we had a break-in at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were home, and it was not good. And at the end of the day, that was an aha moment. I said to myself, "We're out of here. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I will until, and I'm getting us out of the zip code." There was only one reason that we lived in that zip code, and it was income, and I had to change that. And the one vehicle I had was relationship marketing. And so the answer is right in front of us. The vehicle is right here. Really, for 99.9% of the things that we want to accomplish, We have it right here in front of us. And so you have to be willing to see that. You have to be willing to experience it before it happens. You have to act as if now, and you'll receive that. And so let me give you and elaborate, because it's one of the most important steps in visual aids, is it really reminds you every day and it engages your family. Let's say, for example, you've always wanted to take your children to Disneyland or Disney World, or maybe it's Six Flags, or wherever type of vacation you'd like to take you and your family on. Send away for the DVD of that vacation spot. Look it up online and print out the pictures of that hotel. Plan the month, the exact month that you want to go to that hotel and spend that time with your family. How long are you going to go for? What restaurants are you going to eat at? What activities are you going to do while you're there? That's how vivid you want to do that, and involve your family. There's nothing more powerful than involving your significant other. There's nothing more powerful than involving your children and your family members. They'll remind you. Let me tell you, if you have young children, they're the best goal setters ever, because they will not stop until you achieve it. Tell your kids you're taking them to Disney World. They'll ask you every day, every month, every year until you do it. Okay? And so parents know what I'm talking about there, so you can do that. And a great goal, for example, as we're talking about visual aids, is why not be in Cancun? Why not you? Why not your family? Why not now? Our Cancun trip is going to be absolutely incredible. It's a 5-star resort. Nerium pays for everything: the food, the drink, the airfare, the hotel, even the transfer from the airport to the hotel. And you get to bring somebody with you. That should be a goal for every one of us listening in here today. Set that goal to go to Cancun. How do you go to Cancun? You have to become a national marketing director. Today is a lot about becoming a national marketing director, because I believe that's really where the true, real big lifestyle starts to happen for you, the lifestyle change. And so national marketing director, it should be on everybody's dream board. It should be a goal. And we're going to set some more definitive goals on national marketing director towards the end of the session here today. But think about that Cancun trip. I believe that probably all of you would love to be on that trip. I believe that most of you are saying you want to be on that trip. I believe some of you are saying it in a way where you're a little bit more serious about it. Like, I'm going to Cancun. I will be in Cancun. But I don't know how many of you are locking in these steps. Have you written it down? Have you written down a time frame of where you'll hit national marketing director? Do you have a dream board with a picture of the resort that we're going to be in August of 2014? Have you gone on the website and checked out the accommodations, in the food, in the restaurants, in the beach, in the activities, the ambiance of the hotel? Have you maybe listened to some of the music that's played down there in Cancun, Mexico? I mean, that's how vivid it really should be. So there's a start today of, let's all set that goal of being in Cancun together. Why not? Why not reward each other with being able to celebrate a midway point through the year of 2014 by being in the beaches of Mexico? That's just going to be incredible. And there's something about the food simply tastes better when someone else is paying for it. The drinks are better. The sand is smoother. The sun is brighter. I don't know why it works that way. It just does. And when Nerium's paying for it, it does. It just feels more rewarding. And if you haven't experienced a Nerium trip, you really haven't experienced a trip. It's really second to none. And I've been on a lot of good trips in my life. I've been around the world, both in the military and in this industry. And Nerium does it right. They really go all out. It's such an experience. The people and the friendships and camaraderie and the fellowship that happens on these trips is really better than the trip itself. And so let's set that goal for each other today. Here's another step. Step 5 is read your goals every day. We call these affirmations. I like to refer to them as daily affirmations, okay? And daily affirmations are important. And it's important to have power statements. And what I mean by power statements is, I will be a national marketing director. I am a national marketing director. I have become a better person. I have become a better parent. I've become a better husband. I've become a better wife. They're power statements. And, I think as adults, sometimes we feel it might be a little cheesy to have index cards that have these power statements and read them out loud. You know what? It might seem a little awkward, but I would rather do that than to go back and making $16,000 a year trying to live on $1,400 a month, trying to feed a family on $1,400 a month, and living in a bad zip code. That was awkward. I'd much rather be called awkward and different for reading out loud, a couple times a day, the things that I'm going to accomplish for my family and myself, the things that I'm going to help my team do, the things that they're going to propel me forward and allow me to contribute, have a life of purpose and a life of contribution, and leave something big behind. I'd rather have people call me awkward for that, opposed to calling me awkward, for living, a meaningless life of no purpose. And so, daily affirmations. This was probably one of the hardest things for Tammy and I. It was a little weird, when you're down on your spirits and you fell back a couple steps, and quite frankly, where most people think you're failing, it's kind of hard to conjure up the energy to go get a deck of index cards and let's go write some fun statements down. Let's go write some power statements. I am successful. I will be successful. It's not easy to do that when you're not successful, when you're really struggling. I'm talking at the lowest points of our lives, to go out and write down power statements. I can tell you this right now. I will never regret writing down statements and reading them out loud, because it was everything for us. It saved us. It allowed us to believe in ourselves. It gave us the confidence that we needed at that point of our life. And everybody has something. I've met people that make no money, and I've met people that make so much money they don't know what to do with it. And here's one thing I can tell you. Everybody has something going on in their life. Everybody has something holding them back. Everybody has something at night that they think about. Some it's a lack of money, some it's a lack of time, some it's a lack of love, some it's a lack of meaning, some of it's a lack of purpose, some it's an uncertainty in their spirituality and their faith. Everybody has something. Don't let anybody kid you. Don't think that you're the only one going through something. Money doesn't solve anything unless you're a good person. I love what Jeff Olson's doing with Live Happy. Happiness comes before everything. I know plenty of people that make more money than a bank that are not happy. So it's not the money. It's who we are, where we're going, how we're going to get there, and what we're going to become on the journey that's going to define us. And it's what we leave behind. When we're gone, what did we do that was significant? That's really the definition, in my opinion, of success. The houses, the cars, the world travel, hey, that's great. I want to do those things. But I would much rather be known for what I accomplished, what impact I made, what did I do, what did I contribute. That's much more honorable than anything. A car is not going to give you that. A fancy watch is not going to do that. A fancy pair of shoes is not going to do that. But don't get me wrong. You can have it all if you plan for it. And look, I believe that we were all created to live a life of abundance. It's as long as we have our priorities straight and we're good people. There's nothing wrong with making great income, because we're just going to be a better asset to society. So let's talk about daily affirmations. We're going to spend a little bit of time on these daily affirmations, because these daily affirmations are going to define you. These daily affirmations are going to be the thing that keeps you going through all the tough times. I mean, this is a business. You're going on a journey in 2014. The way that I look at 2014 is this is our time as a team. This is our time as a company. This is our time of a group of people that are going to better our lives in 2014 together. We're going to do something big. This company's going places. We know that. Are you going with the company? That's the thing you want to define today. Are you going at the pace of the company? In 2014, you can accomplish anything you've ever wanted to accomplish if you're willing to write it down, you're willing to talk about it every day, you're willing to do these daily affirmations, and you're willing to execute on the plan that we're going to set here tonight. Why do daily affirmations work? Here's some things you want to think about. You want to keep your mind on the things you want and off the things that you don't. When life is tough, when you're grinding out a 100-hour work week, when you're going to work when it's dark, and you're coming home when it's dark, and you're missing your kids, and you're missing your wife, you're missing your husband, you're missing your parents, and you're really just you're working hard. It's so easy to focus on the things that you don't like about your current circumstances. It's not easy to think about the things that you want. The way the subconscious mind works is you have to keep the subconscious mind on the things that you want. And you must keep the subconscious mind off the things that you don't want. And here's the reason why. If you go to bed negative, okay, Negative. And whatever you define as negative. You're thinking about the bills, you're thinking about the job you don't like, you're thinking about, wanting to be in a better neighborhood, you're thinking about the time you don't have, you're thinking about an illness, whatever it is, anything that you define that's negative. If you go to bed negative, your subconscious mind has all night to think about it. I want you to internalize that for a second. It's very deep, it's very important. All night, your subconscious mind is thinking about what you left it with. When I go to bed at night, I leave my mind fruitful, a fertile garden for successful thoughts. I read my daily affirmations. I read my power statements. I write in my planner the 2 or 3 or 4 things that I need to accomplish the next day. When I go to bed, I'm at peace. It wasn't always that way. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to act like I'm Superman here. It was a struggle to get to that point. And I'll be very transparent tonight in this goal-setting workshop. Tammy and I are being very transparent in where we came from. For most of you, you just see us where we're at. Oh, Mark and Tammy, making millions of dollars. Life must be perfect. Wow, they must have signed up and just went to the top. That's not real. That's not what really happened. We're not afraid to share with you what really happened. We struggled. It was brutal. People told us we were idiots. They told us we were going to fail. They told us we were dumb. We had family members knock us down so hard you didn't even want to get up. You were almost hoping that you couldn't get up. That's how bad it hurt. But here's the thing that we knew. Once we got past that, and we started doing daily affirmations to encourage ourselves, and we both had very similar affirmations, and then we had some of our own that were personal to us. I've read some to myself. My wife doesn't know about them. Okay, they're written down on index cards, and every once in a while I'll find one in an old journal. And go, oh wow, I remember that one. I will not be depressed tomorrow. Things like that. It really was we really were at that point at one point, and so. When we go to bed now, we are at peace. We think about success. We think about waking up with our kids in the morning. We think about homeschooling our daughter. We think about a fruitful day in our Nerium business. We think about success of people on the team. We think about time as a family. We think about the next time we're going to go to Hawaii as a family. Those are the things that we think of. We're grateful what happens. We're happy before we go to bed. That has set us up and programmed us for success. You can do that today if you believe this. If you can understand how powerful the subconscious mind is, you can do these things. And, it's called auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is the act of programming your subconscious mind. If you don't program your subconscious mind with positive thoughts and goals, and you leave it empty, it's basically it's a fertile garden for weeds to grow in it. It's amazing. The negative thoughts will fill the space in your mind if you don't fill them with positive. It's basic concept. Everything we read in the newspaper is negative. Everything we watch on the news is negative. Matter of fact, good news is no news. Think about that for a second. Good news is no news. What kind of a world are we in today? Why do you think that Jeff Olson is putting millions of dollars of his own personal money into leading the global movement on happiness? He's not doing that to launch a magazine. He's doing it to help change the world. We're all a part of that. It's interesting. There's never been a magazine on happiness. Why? Because people want to read The Inquirer. They want to read People magazine. They want to read negative news. Elvis is still alive. So-and-so is getting a divorce in Hollywood. Yada, yada, yada. That's what, unfortunately, a lot of the things around us are negative. And so, Live Happy Magazine, the Happiness Movement, the Nerium Ripple, reading personal development, what we're talking about right now with affirmations, we have to arm ourselves with these things to keep that negative away from us. And so, what I want to do right now is, I'm going to just read some of my affirmations to you. These are deep, these are very, very concentrated affirmations. I actually followed these right from the book, Think and Grow Rich. I have a spiral-bound deck of index cards right in front of me. I've been reading these affirmations for probably 8 to 10 years. Okay, 8 to 10 years. So I'm just fire through a couple so you can understand what they are. You can have simple ones like I will be successful, I will eat healthy, I will wake up early, I will plan my day before the day ends. That's another one of mine. And then you can get a little bit deeper and have some that are have a lot of purpose, have a lot of meaning. And so let me read just a few of mine with you. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. Now here's another one. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in an outward physical action and gradually transfer themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of who I am and who I want to be. Here's another one. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining that object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. So as you can see, these are no joke daily affirmations. These are deep. They have a lot of purpose. They have a lot of meaning. I'm very, very serious about them. Let me read another one to you. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Here's a statement. This is an exercise I did reading through the Think and Grow Rich book as well, and I wrote this down exactly like it told me to, and I signed it. It says write this down and sign it and read it to yourself every single day. So I'm going to read it to you. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless it is built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces of which to use in the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because I am willing to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me. I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day, with full faith that will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become self-reliant and a successful person. And I signed that. Now, that's pretty deep. Most people probably won't do this exercise. Most people probably wouldn't write it down. And those that would write it down wouldn't be reading it 10 years later. Now, I'm not perfect. I haven't committed every single one of these things to memory, but these are still on my desk. I still read these things aloud all the time. I need to. Tammy needs to. We're no different than anyone else. We have people tell us that, our ideas are, stink. We have people tell us Nerium's not a good product. We have people telling me, oh, it's short-lived. We have people telling us, oh, money's not everything. We go through everything that any one of you are going through or ever going to go through. We're just like you. Let me give you my mission statement. It's very simple. I am a person of influence. I live and lead by my core values of honor, courage, and commitment. That's my mission statement. I rewrite that every single month in my achievement planner. I do my personal initiatives to focus on every single month, and I don't get them out of order. I write, what am I going to do in my family and my home? What am I going to do for my finances and my career? What am I going to do for my mental and educational experience? What am I going to do to help me with my physical health? What am I going to do that's social and culturally oriented? And what am I going to do that's related to my spirituality and my ethics? Every single month, I take time to rewrite my mission statement, rewrite my personal initiatives I'm going to focus on that month. I put them in order, and then I put down my business initiatives to focus. It's an achievement system. I do it exactly like David Bird talks about. So, what are your affirmations? What are the things that you want to accomplish? What are the things that you know without a shadow of a doubt you're willing to go through a brick wall to achieve for you and your family? It's the daily affirmation that's going to hold you when no one else is looking. It's what's going to keep you there. It's what's going to keep you focused. It's what's going to keep you going. So let's go to step 6. Step 6 is who's going to hold you accountable. It's a goal partner, a workout partner, someone that you can rely on, someone that can pick you up when you're down, someone that you can pick up when they're down. It's an equal relationship. It goes both ways. Okay? You don't have to go it alone. There's plenty of people in this company, sideline, downline, upline. You don't have to be on the same team. We've got a great culture here. We're Team Nerium. Everybody's for everybody. That's what I love about this company. And so go find someone either on your team, off your team, maybe in your local market that shares similar goals. For example, let's just say that you're a single mom. You probably want to find a goal partner or workout partner that's a single parent so you can motivate each other. You can relate to each other. You can be there when you're up. You can be there when someone's down. You're always moving forward, and you're relatable to each other. Let's say, for example, you're a corporate executive and you work 80 hours a week. Maybe you go find someone else that works 80 hours a week. You say, look, I'm working 80 hours a week. You're working 80 hours a week. Here's my goal. What's your goal? You want to be workout partners, and you hold each other accountable. Now, be a good workout partner too. That's the other thing. Do what you said you would do. That's important. If you have a workout partner and you never do what you said you would do, that's not a good workout partner. You're not doing them a service. You're doing them a disservice. So be serious about it when you find that workout partner. Commit to them. They're committing to you. Commit to them and hold each other accountable. Later on in this session, I'm going to talk about what you can do with your workout partner so that it's just a little bit easier on a daily basis. And so this was obviously a deep session. Tammy and I talking about the struggle, the setbacks, talking about the sacrifices, and then transitioning into, what can happen, the lifestyle, the meaning, the purpose, the fun, the memories, the time with your kids. So we talked about that. And then we talked about these 6 steps to really setting a goal and be real serious about 2014. For years and years and years of my life, I did the same toast that many do with that glass of champagne on New Year's Eve and yelled out in the loud crowd of, this is my New Year resolution. And you know what? I did that every year. And every year I had the same New Year's resolution. How can you have the same New Year's resolution every year? Because you didn't accomplish it. Over and over and over again. Do you know that most people, that's what they do? I'm going to get healthy this year. I'm going to get in shape this year. I'm going to get out of debt this year. I'm going to buy a home this year. I'm going to go back to school this year. I'm going to start a business this year. This year, this year, this year, this year. 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, they're toasting to the same thing. Is this year going to be different for you? Are you really ready for it to be different for you? You have to have that mindset, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. From Tammy and I, the number one thing we want to accomplish tonight is we want to help you go into the new year a new you. Totally different. Same body, different mindset, different spirit. Really ready to receive, really ready to go do something big, really ready to make a difference. I mean, really a brand partner with purpose. Just going out there. You know when you've done it right, when you're in the right mindset, when you don't have to say anything, and your friends and your family and your neighbors and your brand partners are saying, man, what's going on with you lately? Wow, why are you so happy? What just happened? You win the lottery? That's when you know something's different. Doesn't mean all of a sudden your bank account exploded. It just means that you're ready to receive it. You're acting as if. Your confidence is there. Your posture is there. You got a different, pep in your step. You have a little different twinkle in your eye. You have a different smile. There's just something about you. People recognize it. I like to say it's an attractiveness, and not the typical attractiveness of the GQ magazine and all the supermodels and stuff like that. I don't get tied up in the Hollywood scene and that kind of stuff. You've seen us on the red carpet. It's kind of funny. I don't know any of the celebrities, and that's the big laugh that Tammy and I have, where we're always scared when the celebrities come up on the red carpet and we're helping represent Miriam, and we don't know who they are. We don't buy into that kind of whole scene. I mean attractiveness as a person. You become what I like to call as becoming magnetic, where people are just attracted to you because you're fun to be around. There's something about you. You compliment people. You don't put people down. You embrace everybody. You treat everybody the same. There's just something about you where people are just like, man, I don't know what it is about this person, but I just want to be around them. I want to do whatever they're doing. I want to be part of their team, whatever that means. I just want to do it. And so when you have that right mindset, then we can go to the next level. Until you have that right mindset, we can't go to the next level. We can give you the steps that we're going to go on. I'm going to give you the steps right now that we're going to go on as a company. They're very simple. There's nothing different. It's the same tools. We're the same company. Yeah, we've got some timing on our side right now. We're about to go to phase 2. We're about to grow 3-4x as a company. And you want to be part of that. You want to stay at pace with this company, because very few of us will ever find ourselves in the place that we're in right now. We're just in an amazing spot. Very few people have ever sat in the seats that we sit in today. But we have to be ready for it. We have to really, we can't be toasting at midnight the same thing over and over and over again. Something has to be different. And hopefully we've conveyed, and hopefully that makes sense here today. So once you're ready and you're setting that definite chief aim, the big purpose and meaning in your life, what's the big one that you want to accomplish, what you want to leave behind. Once you've set that 1 year goal, hey, look, what's the big one for you in 2014? What at the end of the year, if there was one thing you accomplished, what would have completed that year where you said, you know what? I did what I said I would do this year. I am who I said I would become in 2014, and I'm happy with myself. I love myself. I'm ready to go to 2015. What is that thing? What is it? And then it's what we're going to talk about now. How do we fire up this year? How do we take you into 2014? How do we just ignite that fire? You're the ignition point that makes it happen. We'll be the fuel. So we'll pour that fuel all over that fire and help you really go to the next level. And that's our 100-day sprint to St. Louis. You see, we could have just came on here today and said, hey, we're all going to run into St. Louis. It's about 100 days away. And so we'll see you guys there. See you at the top. You know, this isn't a rah-rah session. There's all these motivational gurus out there that would say, it's 100 days to change your life. You know, you got to go for it. And they leave you with this little booklet. It's a bunch of piece of papers. It doesn't do anything. That's why we have to start with, where are you at today? Where do you want to be? And what are you willing to do about it? What sacrifices are you willing to make? See, this 100-day sprint is simple. There's nothing fancy about it at all. It's a piece of paper. It's what you do with it that's going to make the difference. 100 days between now and St. Louis. This is a downloadable booklet that I'm going to ask each and every one of you. And hopefully you've gotten the email and you've already downloaded this. But if you haven't, go to the company email and download this booklet. And go on this journey with us. This is the run of our lives that we're going to do as a group. This is it. This really is it. I've waited 14 years of my business career for the moment right now where we're at. I know that may sound a little overwhelming if you're a new brand partner, but it's real. It's where we're at right now. We're just happen to be in a very unique spot. And so let's go through the booklet and really how to use this booklet, how to use it to propel ourselves through this next 100 days. Now, I'm going to give you a goal that I believe every one of you can achieve, but you're going to be the one that really, at the end of the day, sets this goal. I'm going to give you a benchmark. There's no reason over the next 100 days why you and your family can't achieve the level of National Marketing Director. The average income of a National Marketing Director, Nerium, is a 6-figure income. That's 6 figures from home, waking up at the crack of noon, with syrup spilt on your fuzzy slippers, having the time of your life. It is totally different than making 6 figures in corporate America. That's the average income of an NMD. You're also going to get rewarded with a trip to Cancun. And you want to read the Cancun documents, you can see all the details for that. But I think this is a great year, a great way to kick off the year. Taking momentum from December, transferring it into January, and not sitting or sleeping on this thing for a moment, just going for it. And so that's why we did this 100-day sprint to St. Louis. Here's how it works. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the obvious, put your name down there on your goal sheet, and ask that you put your current rank. You know, the physical activity, we talked about this, the act of writing it down, what it does, it engages the senses. Where are you at today, and where do you want to be by St. Louis? So what rank are you? Are you a director right now? Are you a senior brand partner? Are you a senior director? Are you an executive director? Where are you at right now? And where do you want to be by St. Louis? Now look, make it a realistic goal. You know, if you're a director right now and you're like, I'm a director and I'm going to be an NMD, look, that's not a far-fetched goal. It takes about 3 months to hit National Marketing Director. Now, not everybody in the company has done it in their first 3 months, but it takes 3 months. What do I mean by that? If you were to line up all of our NMDs and you were to say to them, how long did it take you to hit NMD? They may have been in the company for 8 months, but it took them about 3 months from the point when they decided that they wanted to go all in and go NMD. It might have taken them 17 months from the day they started and enrolled as a brand partner to get the title NMD, but it took them about 3 months to hit National Marketing Director. You ask any one of them, they will concur exactly what I'm saying. It's from the moment that everything comes together. It's the moment that you get serious and you set that goal and you say, "That's it. I'm all in. No distractions. I'm not watching American Idol, 15 times a week. And I've got to get real serious about my goals. I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to expose people. I got to follow the 8 points. I got to show up at these live events. I got to do this thing." It's about 3 months. And so, knowing that, what's your goal by St. Louis? When I set a realistic goal, you got to be willing to do what it takes. If you know in your heart right now that you're not willing to do what it's going to take to hit NMD, don't make NMD your goal. See, a lot of leaders won't do that. I'm not one of these rah-rah motivational speakers. I get fired up sometimes. Okay, I get fired up a lot. But I don't consider myself a rah-rah motivational speaker type guy, because most of those people would say, you put that NMD down, National Marketing Director. You got to put that down as your goal. I want you to be a National Marketing Director. I believe that you can be a National Marketing Director. Every fiber in my being, I believe you can be a National Marketing Director. But you have to believe it. You have to believe the possibilities are possible for you. And hopefully we've done some things today that can get you there mentally. And believe me, going through the exercise of affirmations and dream boards and proclaiming yourself to your family, friends, neighbors, and where you're going and what you're going to accomplish, that's all part of that drill. If you believe you can do it, put it down. Okay, put it down, because I believe you can do it. In 3 months, it's 100 days. You can do it. Okay. The next thing, and this is really, really, really important to focus on this. How many people are you going to have on your team in St. Louis? Really important to focus on that. What does that look like right now? Okay. So if your goal is to have 25 people in St. Louis at our national convention, write it down. Your goal is to have 50. Your goal is to have 100. Everyone has different goals, obviously relevant to the size of your group. Okay. And take a moment and write down, why do you want to achieve these goals? What are they going to do for you? Sometimes the why, is more important than the how. And all the how-tos will figure themselves out if you have a strong enough why. Why do you want to be a National Marketing Director by St. Louis? Why do you want to have that many people on your team at St. Louis? And I think we all know the answers why, but it's important for you to write your why. Okay. And the next thing you'll notice is list your workout partner. Who's the person that you trust, that you're going to be a little transparent to, that you're going to commit to, that's going to hold you accountable to the goals? Because what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to hold yourselves accountable with a goal partner, with a workout partner. So you want to find, the right person that suits. They're at your level. They're about the same energy level as you. Kind of the same goals. That's important. If you're a senior brand partner, you don't find a 5-star NMD to be your workout partner. That's probably not a good match. You would think that would work, but it wouldn't, because it has to be, it's a 50-50, right? You have to be able to motivate them as they need to be able to motivate you. So you want to find someone that is going to push you just enough for you to hit your goals, and that you're going to push them just enough for them to hit their goals, okay? Now, the next part of your 100-day sprint to St. Louis is really just it's a reminder of probably one of the biggest parts of tonight, and that was your daily affirmations. And so here's some affirmations that we just wrote down, but I want you to come up with your own. You most certainly can read these. I am a leader. I am a winner. Okay, I love Nerium. I love my life. I am a champion. Okay, I am grateful. I am worthy. There's some great affirmations in here. And if you just took this page and you read it out loud a couple times a day, you'd really be shocked. I challenge you. Just give me a week. Just a week, okay? I want 100 days out of you, but just give me a week. Just do it for a week. You won't be able to stop it. You'll love it. It really does make a difference. Yeah, your kids are going to think you're a little crazy, but that's okay. They'll get into it as well. Your spouse, your significant other, they might say, "What are you doing in there?" Do it for a week. Next thing you know, it's infectious. They'll be writing down their goals. They're going to say, "Hey, look, this is kind of cool. You're different. There's something going on with you. What's happening with you? Like, I thought this was cheesy, but like you're really serious about this." It'll be amazing to you what happens. Like I said, magnetic, it really works. Your whole household will get engaged in this. And so, just give me a week, and that week will last that 100 days, and hopefully that 100 days will last a lifetime. Now in your booklet, you'll notice that each page represents 4 days. And so we want you to put the days down on these pages. We're going to count down, obviously, 100 days. So we'll all start with day 100, and we'll count backwards. And so it's real simple. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We could have put the 8 points in here. We could have put 100 things for you to do each day. That's not what we're looking for. There's two main things that we want you, or I should say, three main things that we want you to focus on. How many? Your 2 exposures a day. It's 100 days. If you personally did 2 exposures a day on the 100-day sprint, that's 200 personal exposures. There's no way you don't get good results from that. Now, let's take it up a notch. Take 10 people on your team that are watching this right now. Take 10 people on your team that maybe are not watching this, that you go to and you give them the link to this. And you download the booklet with them, and you rewatch it with them, and you do dream boards with them, and you have fun, and you do some dream building, and you go to some open houses, and you test drive some cars. Some of those different things that you may do with you and your family, with them, to kind of help expand upon their dreams and goals. And you get them to go through this. Let me give you a quick example. 10 people, just 10 in your team doing this, 2 exposures a day. That's 20 exposures a day. Multiply that over 100 days. That's 2,000 exposures between here and St. Louis. That's called an explosion on your team. What if you had 20 people do it? That's 4,000 exposures. What if you had 60 people? That's 6,000 exposures. And now you can see where I'm going with this. This is the slight edge right in front of you. Well, really, what is 2 exposures a day? Everything. And all we're asking you to do is 2 exposures a day. If you want to do more, we're not going to get mad at you, okay? But 2 exposures a day. Next thing is the workout partner, okay? Did you check in with your workout partner? Because I think the important thing is to be able to go look at this booklet every day and go, hey, look, are you on track? If you are you off track? And so check in with your workout partner. It's a 5-minute call. Hey, workout partner. Hey, how's it going, workout partner? Hey, did you get your exposures today? Yep. Did you see how many people you have registered for the event? Yep. It's just something simple. Maybe you find your workout partner needs some words of encouragement. Encourage them. Maybe you're the person that needs encouragement and your workout partner is the one that's fired up that day. That's the purpose of a workout partner. So don't let a day go by where it's just a quick call. Hey, quick call. Workout partner, hey, how's it going? Going great, good stuff. Hey, look, I'm real busy running into an RRP, a real results party. Hey, running into dropping my kids off at school. Just wanted to check in with you. It's not supposed to be some complicated thing. And the third thing is every single day checking your list of who's registered for St. Louis on your team. There's something about the subconscious when you say, I will have 30 people on my team in St. Louis, and then every single day you're looking at that list. Let's say you start off with 5. Let's say you have 5 people right now registered for St. Louis. And your goal is 30. Every single day you're looking. 5. Next day, 5. Next day, 5. There's no way that your subconscious is going to allow you every day to just look at the number 5 and watch it not grow. You're going to do something about it. That's the purpose of the exercise. So it's 3 basic things. 2 exposures a day, check in with your workout partner, and where are you at that day for your registrations? Because we know that it's a very, very important part of what we're going to do. Speaking about what we're going to do, it's your life. Only you can take action. I learned a very long time ago from my experience of being in the military and being deployed all over the world. And let me tell you, it was an amazing experience. It was a fun experience. It was a scary experience. And there was many, 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 many times where, I had to dig down deep inside and I had to find the will to keep going. I really did. We don't need to get into experiences. I've been in some scenarios where I had to have that will inside where I was the only one that could make a difference. I had to find it inside of me to keep on going. So I found through those life experiences that motivation comes from within, not from a videotape, not from an audio, not from a book. They help. Personal development is key to my journey and your journey. But at the end of the day, the book can't take action for you. This webinar cannot make you do it. Only we can dig deep inside, find our life's meaning, our life's purpose, turn that into physical activity and go for it. We have to be willing to take action. Why am I spending the time tonight, this particular moment? Tammy and I, we it was funny because before we got on the call here today at Nerium University, I could tell we were both thinking about. I was worried about talking about showing you my W-2. be real transparent. I was worried about showing you that $16,000 a year income, not because I'm ashamed of it, because I didn't know how I was going to be able to overcome the pain that we went through at that period of our life and how that might resurface in this training. And I know Tammy was probably thinking the same thing. I wasn't so sure of showing you the picture of the motor coach, because you might look at that motor coach and go, oh wow, oh that's so cool. Look at Caitlin, she's a little girl. You may look at that picture and go, we were smiling, Caitlin was smiling, nice, beautiful motor coach. That's not how I was feeling at that point. That was my daughter's birthday with some cupcakes with nobody there. Did you notice? There was only me and her, and the person taking the picture was my wife. We were living in a motor coach. Her birthday party was on a picnic table next to a motor coach in a trailer park. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not telling you it's a good thing. It was stressful. So, as simple as it may have seemed for us to share that with you today, I'm here to tell you right now, it wasn't easy to put those slides in this presentation. It wasn't easy to talk about. It's still not easy for me to share with you right now. The only reason that we did that, the only reason we're having, this is probably the deepest conversation we've had with you as leaders, is because we know where we're going. We know what's about to happen with this company. We know that this is a shot that you have to take. And you're going to have some blind faith in us. You're going to have some blind faith in the company. You're going to have some blind faith in Jeff Olson, Dennis Windsor, the management team, the co-founders of this company. You're going to have to believe right now. You're going to have to say, you know what? I've got a certain level of belief. I'm willing to go for it. I've written down my goals. I trust these guys, because here's what I know. In approximately 100 days, we're going to meet at the Edwards Jones Bowl in St. Louis, Missouri, where the St. Louis Rams play. First of all, you don't go rent an NFL arena if you don't plan on doing some big things. I think that's probably self-evident. All of the forces are aligning for this company right now. You see, we started this company organically from a cold start. We didn't play any of the games in the direct sales industry. We didn't go out and buy people. We didn't go out and front load people. We didn't go do all the things that are done in this industry. One bottle was sold, a second bottle was sold, a third bottle was sold. The first person got their iPad, the second person got their iPad. This company was built with authenticity. It was built with intentionality. It was built and founded on real core values, real purpose and meaning. The founders of this company wanted to do it right, wanted to do it big, wanted to do it real. They started with just a few words: make people better. Go show me companies that were started with, we want to make people better. Before we make any money, we want to set up the Nerium Ripple and make sure we're a company that's going to change the world. We want to help the Big Brothers and Sisters organization. We're going to give back. We're going to make an impact. You know what? Before we make multiple millions, hundreds of millions of dollars as a company, we want to make sure we're going to found this company on core values that have real meaning. Go show me the last company that did that. Not just made a brochure about it, but did it, lived it, and is living it every single day. Nerium's doing that. You see, you have to let Nerium get inside of you. Okay? You're not in Nerium until Nerium's in you. Now, some of you, you're just looking to make a few $100s a month. That's easy. You can do that here. But for many of you, you want to go to a whole nother level in your life. A life of purpose and meaning and happiness and contribution and difference that you're making out there. You can do that here. I've been in this position a few times in my business career. And for Tammy and I, we want to be transparent and be able to share this as best we can. Our mentor, Jeff Olson, a couple of times over the past 14 years, sometimes it was just from stage and we were in the front row taking notes. We were leaders in a previous life, and Jeff Olson was our mentor. And from stage, we felt like he was talking to us. I don't think anyone else was listening. That's how I looked at it. And we took notes when he said, trust me, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to run. Now is the time to sacrifice whatever you have to. Now is the time to set your purpose and your meaning and get ready to go on the run of your life. It's happened about 3 times for us in our relationship with Jeff. Guess how many times he was right? 3 times. Guess how many times he was wrong? Never. That's a powerful statement. We didn't question Jeff. We didn't have 1 ounce of doubt. We heard 1 ounce of doubt and you're out. We didn't have an ounce of doubt. Wasn't easy. We weren't geniuses. We made a lot of mistakes, but we had 0 doubt. We wouldn't allow it in. And when he said run, we ran. We didn't look back. We didn't look sideways. We didn't look in the rearview mirror. We ripped the rearview and side view mirrors off of our life when we went forward. And every time we listened and did that, our lifestyle exploded. Our peace of mind exploded. Our experiences exploded. Our financial freedom exploded. Our level of who we are exploded. Our leadership level exploded. Our marriage exploded. Our parental, the way that we we're parents to our children, and where we take them and how we treat them and what we try to instill in them went to the next level every time. So it's hard to a webinar. To some of you, we don't really know each other on a one-on-one personal level. So it's hard to connect through a computer screen to try to share with you how passionate we are about you taking this one opportunity in your life and giving it everything you got. And let me tell you what that doesn't mean. It doesn't mean you give up your faith and stop going to church. It doesn't mean that you stop having friends. It doesn't mean that you stop having fun with your kids. It doesn't mean you give up all your hobbies. It just means that at every moment that you give this business, you give it everything you've got. If you got 5 hours a week to give this thing, give it everything you've got in those 5 hours. I had 5 to 8 hours a week when we started. That's it. Not a lot of time. 5 to 8 hours. I was full-time in the military, cardiovascular school, pulling duty, working major hours, scared out of my soul, broke with a newborn at home. Tammy was a full-time college student, full-time job. I mean, we were 2 young kids. We were worried. We didn't have a lot of time. Jeff Olson said, give me everything you got in the allotted time that you've got. I remember him making this one powerful statement. He said, invest your life in this company and what we're doing will give you your life back. I still believe that today because it worked. Nobody has been in the seats that we sit in today in Miriam. There's many companies that have had success, but not where we're at right now. We're at the beginning of a multi-billion-dollar global giant. We're at the beginning of the movement of happiness that's going to change the world. This is not some small little thing. Years from now, people will be saying, you were at the beginning of Live Happy magazine. You got the first issue. You know the guy that's leading the global movement on happiness. You were one of the founding brand partners in Miriam International. You got to be kidding me. That's amazing. How did you find yourself in that position? I know that sounds cheesy and a little hokey. Okay, I know it does. That's where we sit right now. We sit in that seat. We could be sitting in that seat 5 years from now saying, I'm so glad I did. Or we could be sitting in a seat saying, I wish I had. I can promise you this much. Mark and Tammy Smith will be sitting in those seats saying, I'm sure glad I did. And I'm going to tell you what. I just want to look to my left and look to my right, and I want to see every single one of you in your family sitting in those same seats because you took advantage of it. We have a dozen A+ initiatives that we're going to launch at this convention. You got to give me 100 days. Just trust me. I'm begging you for your belief in us, in the company, in the vision of the founders. Give me 100 days. If after the 100 days you get into St. Louis, if you don't think it was worth it, you can make whatever decision you want. Is it worth trusting me for 100 days? Give me 100 days. Fill out this booklet. Go through it every day. Do your 2 exposures. Set your definite chief aim. Have a workout partner, an accountability partner. Read daily affirmations out loud. Because what we're going to do in St. Louis is going to blow your mind. I've never promoted something harder in my life. I've never been willing to give up as much as I'm giving up right now. Sacrificing as much time as I can possibly sacrifice. You would think, well, that's because you're making the kind of money you're making. No, it's the opposite. Most people making the kind of money we're making would not be working this hard. We thrive off your success. Jeff Olson, you think Jeff Olson needs to go lead the movement on happiness? You think Jeff Olson needed to found Miriam International? Jeff Olson could have sailed into the sunset on a 200-foot yacht and travel the world for the rest of his life. That's That's who Jeff Olson is. On the scales of success, that's where he is financially. He doesn't need to do this. That's why Tammy and I walked away from a 7-figure income, because when someone doesn't need to do what they're about to do, that's going to take them 25 years of their life to accomplish, to build the greatest company ever, that's going to have the best reputation, the classiest culture, that's going to absolutely be a game changer in this industry, that's why we were willing to walk away. Not that many people are willing to do that, to sacrifice, to give up, a comfortable life. That's why I know in St. Louis, it's worth anything you can put into this. So what do you do now? Number one, you decide. You have to make a decision. This is where you have to cut your teeth. This is where you have to draw your line in the sand. Number two, you have to create disciplines. All disciplines affect other disciplines. So start out small, finish big. Number three, I'm going to give you some things to do. Go home and throw away all your junk food. I know it sounds funny. Go cleanse yourself, okay? It's a new year. It's a new you. Go throw your junk food away. Go home and donate all the clothes you haven't worn in 2 years. Get them out of your sight. Clean the house, okay? Clean your office. Get your whole life in order. I've done this several times. I've gone to the next level. I've done things, and this is a simple thing. It's kind of funny. I've done this with a couple of my friends where, and this does sound weird, but I'm just going to share it with you. We went and got wooden hangers, and we put all of our clothes on wooden hangers. We got rid of all the clothes we weren't wearing, and we got rid of all the ratty hangers, and we got all wooden hangers, and we put all of our clothes neatly and organized in our closet. May seem like a dumb thing, but I tell you what, it was huge for us. And, why wooden hangers? That's what we were told to do. We went to a breakthrough seminar where it was like, look, go home, clean your life, cleanse yourself, cleanse your soul, just get ready to go to the next level. And that's kind of some of the things that we did. And so go home and get rid of the clutter. Don't go into the new year with the clutter. That's why we wanted to do this on the 29th. Don't get to January 5th, January 10th, January 20th and not have done these things. Get rid of the clutter. Get rid of the excuses. I mean, it's an amazing feeling when all of a sudden you wake up the next morning, you're like, you know what? My house smells clean. It looks clean. My closet's organized. I got rid of the clutter. I took all my stuff down to Salvation Army. I mean, these are real things. Tammy and I do these things every single year. You know what? I feel great. I'm going to start off my daily affirmation. I'm going somewhere. I'm ready. I'm ready for that next level. Team, this is our moment to go for it. Tonight was a little bit different of a training, and I hope that you received it the right way. It was totally intended to really be received for you and your family to know what it really takes to go to the next level. And so just to sum up tonight's entire training, I want you to just take this in. Be strong, but don't be rude. Be kind, but don't be weak. Be bold, but don't be a bully. Be humble, but don't be timid. Be thoughtful, don't be lazy. Be proud, but don't be arrogant. Be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove. Be cutting edge. You need a sharp sword going into a new year. Live a life of purpose. That's what we're going to do together. It's not about the money. We're going to make a lot of money together. We're going to travel the world together. We're going to do some big things. We're going to change lives. But we're going to lead a life of purpose. Let's all make a difference. Let's leave something behind. And let's go celebrate on the beaches of the world. I love you guys, from Tammy and I, from the founders of the company, from Jeff Olson. This is your year. This is our company's year. Let's do it together. Let's win together. Let's go on the 100-day run of our lives and celebrate in St. Louis, and you'll know why. What I'm going to ask you to do is go on Facebook. Talk about what you experienced tonight. Make a commitment on Facebook. Use social media. Believe me, social media will hold you accountable. Let your team know you're going on the 100-day run. Let your team know they've got to get this webinar so they can get this training and they can get the booklet and they can go on that run with us. And we will see you guys in the new year. And we will go on that run with you. We're going to close out this, and we're going to drive December. We're going to close out strong, and we're going to take this thing into January. We're not going to let this opportunity slip through our hands. So with that, take care and take charge.